Persona 4 Remake might actually be happening. Hello everybody, I am Jmulls of Jmulls Gaming. And look! This info is like thin and wispy at best, so let me get you all up to speed. What has been sparking this recent wave of discussion surrounding Persona 4 Remake is that Faz tweeted out that P4RE.jp at the time of that tweet was registered a few hours ago, and that a couple of years ago, they had registered P3RE.jp, and only 3 months after that, Persona 3 Reload was revealed. So the thinking here is that since they registered P4RE.jp, that a Persona 4 remake, whatever it will be called, will be announced in the near-ish future. That's the thinking. I can't find any supporting information about this, and like every news article I look up just pretty much sources that specific tweet. So I don't want to speak too much about whether or not this is absolutely going to happen. I want to speculate about the merits of a Persona 4 remake, why it kind of makes sense that they may prioritize doing it first before Persona 6, and what I would personally want to see out of it. Because I love Persona 4. It's the Persona game I always have the most desire to go back to and play again. It has a great chill vibe, an amazing S-tier cast of characters in my opinion, and while it's not a perfect game, it's just, for the elements of Persona that I love, I think Persona 4 just hits especially hard for me. Characterization, the fun and wacky moments that happen, good Persona combat, an incredible soundtrack, and for me, great pacing. Why would a Persona 4 remake right now kind of make sense to me? It's because I imagine they got a lot of the actual back-end work done already because of Persona 3 Reload. I can't personally imagine that they would scrap whatever work they already had done and accomplished for Reload and start from scratch for Persona 4 Remake. To me, why this is starting to make a bit of sense is because it's look, we already have the engine, we probably have all this work already done because we did it for Persona 3 Reload, let's just transfer all this effort we already put in into Persona 4 and maybe get that remake to come online sooner. Because at the time of Persona 3 Reload, before Metaphor, Reload was the fastest selling Atlas game. I remember them advertising that soon after the game came out. And if they know that Persona 6 is still a little bit away, why not do a Persona 4 remake in the style of Reload? That just sounds like easy money to me. And it's also the only game of the recent 3 Persona games, 3, 4, and 5, that doesn't have this modern Persona aesthetic or just graphical style. In comparison, Persona 4 does look more aged, though I think the game still holds up mechanically. But Persona 4 is not a perfect game. What could they improve on when it comes to a Persona 4 remake? Well, there's a few things in particular. One, I don't think they're going to really do it to the degree I would want them to, but they could completely revamp the dungeon system, because I think it's Persona 4's weakest element, because it just feels like a bunch of linear corridors slapped together. It's a bit of a lateral move compared to, say, Tartarus. I don't really view one to be better than the other. I personally prefer how Persona 5 and Metaphor tackle dungeons, and if I could see them fleshing out these actual dungeons and make them a bit more involved than just a bunch of corridors, I would appreciate that. I'm not overly optimistic in that regard. They could probably do something with the side quest system as well. Drop rates were absolutely abysmal for some of these things and involved a ton of grinding, so how they kind of smoothed that out in Persona 3 Reload and just made it way less grinding intensive, they could probably do something like that here. Have quite a few of the rewards come from the end of that current dungeon, or from special chests you can open up, stuff like that. Or just increase drop rates across the board. I don't think they changed the actual, quest acquisition, because I think going to all the different characters around Inaba is part of the charm of P4. It adds personality and life to that, small town, which I think is one of Persona 4's greatest strengths. Maybe just add quest markers on the overall world map, maybe you could do that. So at the start of each section and each new month, you don't have to just, walk all the way around Inaba in case some random NPC now has a quest, or you just keep a guide up available at all times. There's a bunch of small things like that you could probably touch upon when it comes to a Persona 4 remake. Personally, I view the actual pacing and the characterization, the actual story in P4 to be really dang good, and I don't want that to be compromised. Mostly, there's a few things you could touch upon. One, personal preference, add the Beef Bowl girl from the anime, because she is freaking hilarious, and all those scenes had me dying of laughter in the anime. For those who haven't seen the actual anime, 1, go watch it. 2, she's essentially the delivery girl for the Beef Bowl shop, up. And the joke is that no matter where you are, no matter what predicament you're in, she will deliver your order. And you can leave the bowl wherever and she'll find it. It's a really dumb joke, but I laughed so much during the anime because of her. There's also like certain scenes from the anime you could probably bring over to a Persona 4 remake. Like Nanako and everyone tailing Yu Narukami as he does his social links in summer. That could be really funny if when you're doing summer social links, you can just find the rest of your crew like stalking you in the bushes somewhere. That could be really good. Just small character moments like that. There's one big component to the story that I think could use some drastic revision. That concerns the character of Marie. I quite like the character of Marie, personally. I know she's kind of controversial and polarizing. I like the character overall. I think they could add a few extra scenes and touch upon some scenes as well to make her inclusion not feel so like black and white. Whereas when you're doing her social link, everyone acts like, oh yeah, we know Marie. Yeah, she's always around with you. Yeah, that makes sense. And then the moment that social link is gone, she's never mentioned again until you get to like the end of the game for her dungeon. Add some scene throughout, maybe tinker with some dialogue here and there, just to not make it feel so like jarring and obvious, where it's like, oh, this was a scene added to Golden instead of base P4. Ah, I see. Because she is a massively important character, especially for the end of the game. But for most of the game, outside of a social link, she has like no presence. It's actually the funny part of this discussion about a Persona 4 remake for the longest time, because people just keep like trying to figure out stuff. It's like, what do you actually change? What do you update? What do you like fix? Yeah, like we can redo dungeons. Does anyone actually think Atlas will go the whole way with this though? Chances are they will be mostly the same with a few minor tweaks or adjustments here or there, probably similar to the changes Tartarus received, going from the old versions of P3 going into Reload. Maybe you can add a Theurgy-like mechanic into P4. I would love that because I was a big fan of the Theurgy mechanic. So there's stuff like that, but when it comes to the actual story, the pacing, the characters, what do you really change going from Persona 4 Golden into, well, let's call it Persona 4 Rewind, I guess? Probably not all that much. Like, Persona 4 Golden was the definitive version of P4. P3 didn't really have that. If you wanted FemC, you had to play Portable, and if you wanted the answer, you had to play Fez, and those versions didn't really have modern ports outside of Portable for the longest time. Like, Persona 4 just doesn't really have that issue that P3 did, especially since P4 Golden is now on modern stuff. So you could make the argument that maybe P4 would be a bit of a harder sell for people. I don't particularly see any issues when it comes to like sales figures in regards to that issue for P4 though. I think P4 just has enough swagger about it and enough like brand recognition where people will be excited for it, myself included. It's like Persona 4 Golden is my favorite Persona game. So am I going to be excited to see that crew again and to have like additional content? Absolutely. Will we have to judge when they inevitably announce it? Because I am fully of the opinion that at some point in the future we will get a Persona 4 remake. That is just like, take that one to the bank. The only question for me is when are they going to do it? And from the sounds of it, possibly soon. And it would kind of make sense. Where it's like, let's imagine, and there's nothing to really support this, but let's imagine Persona 6 is not till like end of 2026. I doubt Atlas would want nothing until then, and if they already have a lot of work done because of Persona 3 Reload, and you can just transfer a lot of that work over and just make P4 with that style and kind of get that online and functioning quickly, why wouldn't you do that? Like as a company, as a business, because let's be fair here, let's not be under any disillusionment, that's gonna sell. Like 100 million%, it's going to sell. So, like, that makes sense to me. If we do end up seeing it, like, late 2025 or, like, early 2026, that would make sense to me. The timing makes sense to me a lot when we view it through that lens. It's also the case where it's just, like, Atlas doesn't really have anything else lined up, unless there was an announcement that went under my radar, which I don't think there was. We're just kind of waiting for them to announce Persona 6, because most of us thought that would be the next big thing. I'm not expecting Shin Megami Tensei 6 anytime soon. I highly doubt they just pump out another metaphor anytime soon. So like, this makes a lot of logical sense to me if they go Persona 4 Reload or Rewind, whatever they want to call it, re-whatever. What if it's Persona 4 Re-Zero? Wait a minute, we might be cooking. Wait a minute, wait, we might be cooking. You've replaced Marie with Rem. I see the vision, Atlas. I see the vision. Now, side note, am I personally dreading the conversation we're going to have again in regards to people just not being able to read when it comes to certain character stories in this game, Kanji and Naoto? Yes, a little bit. Will it be worth it to see my crew again? Absolutely. Do I kind of hope they just go full beans and wacky with it? Yeah, kind of. Like, do that band section again, but make it an entire rhythm game. That would be funny. They're not going to do it, but let a man dream. I just realized another component to this. Because in P4 Golden, you go back to the place from Persona 3 for a bit. You already have all that work done. You just have to, like, Control-C, Control-V. Job done. For that entire part of the game. It makes a lot of sense when you think about it. Like, as a business, it makes a lot of sense to do Persona 4 Remake. Like, it just does. Sure, I don't think the game entirely needs it, but it could be fun. And I don't know about you, but I want to have fun myself. It'd be interesting to see. Now, would it be doubly funny if this all turned out to be absolutely nothing? Yes. Do I kind of hope we do end up seeing a Persona 4 remake? Yeah. I'm just a big fan of P4. I imagine quite a few people just want to see P6 at this point in time, and, like, I do kind of get it. But, like, everyone knows that's going to eventually come. I'd rather it just be, like, done correctly and take their time with it to be the best version it can possibly be. And if, like, a Persona 4 gives us, like, just something to do in the meantime, cool. And with that, I'll call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. My pleasure making the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like and subscribe. It'd really help the channel out and help support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. Stay safe, have a great day. Leave a comment down below your thoughts, your opinions on what you would want to see out of a Persona 4 remake. Do you agree with me? If there's something else you would like to see them, like, change or, like, add to the game, or even possibly remove? I would love to hear your thoughts, hear your opinions, and hear your perspectives. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Until we meet again.